All right. So, it's them live. Don't we essen? What? Ganz coastal. Okay. Okay, so we sent around. Okay. Today's shir is for Akiva Simcha Befega, for Zivukugim for Chav Basmim, Zivukugim for Hov Basmim, and for Dudar Ben Penin Peril. Okay. Due to popular demand that a few guys asked me yesterday to clarify what Sukkah Miduvlelis is, Miduldelis, that we went through a bunch of new concepts.
And our pictures don't do justice in the back.
Is the Moishi, is the zoom on?
Zoom is on, nobody's on.
Okay, zoom is on. Okay, for sure.
Thank you, Moishi, for the border of the zoom. You like it, eh? Wow. This is production.
So, perfect. Guys. Shkoyach Sruli for sponsoring Tune to the Kegel. Thank you very much. Shkoyach.
Wow.
Shkoyach. I said. We got it. We started. The fish of Simma and Rucha Basur Pesach. Okay, fine, guys. The oil, so eat, but when you eat, you don't make too much noise. So that's okay. Hello, the book is still in the nest. Okay, bottom line is, guys. Bottom line is the other was saying that some of the concepts, we have 3 new concepts that we learned, and some of them just need clarification. So we're going to try to do that today. And today's goal is going to be clarifying the 3 concepts. One is what is Miduvlelis, and the 2 concepts really are Lavud and Chavoit Rami. And we have some pictures, we put it on the chat as well, and we sent out some papers of Miduvlelis. And then we're just going to do the Gemara from the Mishnah. It's a Chazara day, just so we all have it clear on what it is. So, the paper that we sent around basically says, Sukkah Miduvlelis, Vishat Tzilas Merubim Mechamasa, right? Kshera. Very simple. What is Miduvlelis? It sounds like a big word. It means one of 2 things. There's a machlekes between Rav and Shmuel on what it is. What is Miduvlelis? Rav says Miduldelis. Okay, whoever's on Zoom, just
mute yourself.
Yeah, please. Rav says it's Miduldelis, which is like a Sukkah Aniyah. So simple. Rav says Miduvlelis means Sukkah Aniyah, which you see the picture. It looks like there's a lot more openings and gaps, but as long as you have 51% shade, you're good to go according to Rav. Shmuel says it means Mibulbelis, Kana Oila v'Kana Yored, like the picture shows. There's 2 levels, 2 layers of schach, one up, one down, and that's what it means. Very, very simple. Miduvlelis means either a lashon dal, like Rav, it's a poor man's sukkah, has a lot of gaps, or like Shmuel, a mibulbelis, a confused, one up, one down. That is the concept of what the taich is of it. Now, regarding the next part, it says, so Shmuel says, there's Rava and Abaya on Shmuel, to understand, because Shmuel has 2 things. And that's what we said yesterday. Abaya says that it's only kosher according to Shmuel if it's less than 3 tfachim. Why? Because of Lavid. Now everybody asked yesterday, where does it say Lavid? What is Lavid? So Rashi says it's called Royan. There's Rashi over here, Loishanu, very small Rashi, so we do it. Loishanu, it's midway down. The Shmuel, the Kana Oila, the Kana Yored, Kshera, Damrin on Royan. We say Royan, it's as if, we see it as if it's one. You see it like it's one layer. So now, where does he get the concept of Royan? We get the concept from Lavid. Now, where is Lavid? What is Lavid? Lavid is what's called a Halacha L'Moshe Misinai. So to take a giant step back and give an understanding of where we're getting these ideas from and what is a Halacha L'Moshe Misinai. So, these parashas, right, this week, we're Nasiv and Ishma, Mekal Torah, we're by our Sinai. The Rebbeinu Shalom gave the Torah to Klal Yisrael through Moshe. What was the Torah? He gave 2 parts. He gave the Torah Shebiksav and Torah Shebal Peh. But there was a 3rd or middle part. What is the Torah Shebiksav? Torah Shebiksav is the Torah, Chumash, Nevi'im, Ksuvim, what's written down. What's Torah Shebal Peh? Torah Shebal Peh is what we are learning now. Basically, it was things that were given over father to son, Baal Peh, and Rabbi Yehuda Nasi got to a point that he felt people were not remembering it, so let's make the Mishnah, then the Gemara, and so on and so forth. So what is halacha Moshe Sinai? So no, that's what was passed down from the Rebbeinu Shalom to Moshe to us, father to son, not the fifta. And basically the concept is that these are things that we cannot learn out, whether from the Torah or anywhere else. It's strictly, there's no way to get it and learn it from the Torah. Let's say Rabbi Shmuel says is Yud Gimel Midas, how to learn out the Torah, Klal Pratu Klal, Riba Mir Riba, all these things, right? These things cannot be learned out because we just don't have where to learn it out from. How do we know that we do this? It was passed down father to son, generation to generation, Rebbe to Talmud, and it is a halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Now, two of these halacha l'Moshe Sinai are, and basically, like the let's call it like the intermediary, the parent thing is shiurin, chatzitzin and mechitzin, right? Shiurin and mechitzas. One of the things on mechitzas is lavud. Now, what's lavud? One of the pictures it looks basically like this. Just so we get an idea. Lavud is one of these two. It's basically something along these lines. If you see, this would, let's say, be a sukkah, right? And forget about the back and whatever, but the front, right? These have small gaps, and let's call this side, the left or your right side, let's call it less than 3 tfachim. So this is considered as if it's a wall. Lavud means we look at the space as if it's full. The gap is full, there's no gap. However, on this side, the gap is, let's say, more than 3 tfachim. So we look at it, no, it's too big, and it could be a problem. Either it's not going to qualify as a sukkah, as a wall, or not going to qualify as the ceiling, meaning, in our case, which is what he's saying, kana olav v'kana yared, according to Shmuel, it's one up, one down. Imagine these are within 3 tfachim from each other. Then it's considered like it's one row. It's not one up, one down, it's one row. That is the concept of lavud. Yes, and if anybody wants to see it, it's also on the group. The picture is on the group, and it gives you a better understanding. This is very simple. Halacha Moshe Sinai. That's where we get it from, and that's what it is. Now, the last thing that we learned was, and we're going to see more in depth next week when we do the next piece of Gemara, is Chavayt Rami. We just touched on it. Chavayt Rami is also Halacha Moshe Sinai. It's also one of these concepts that we learned, father to son, and this is just a Halacha Moshe Sinai. Now, Chavayt Rami is, you may think it's similar to Lavud, but there are a few key differences which make it very different. So Chavayt Rami means to lower and then cast into place. Lower and put into place. So Chavayt Rami doesn't work side to side. Lavud can. Chavayt Rami only goes up to down. Chavayt Rami also only works when you have more than a tefach. So it moves the object down.
More than one?
No, I'm sorry. Let me just say it again. More than a tefach on the top beam, it only works. If the top beam is not more than a tefach, let's say by Tuma, which we're going to see next week, and I don't want to confuse you, it'll go up, hit, and stay in the spot. It won't spread. But if it's more than a tefach, it will spread. Now, if it's more than a tefach above, it will come down. Chavayt Rami will come down and cast into place, and then make that entire thing like flat. Again, the same picture like Lavud, the beams on top, beams on bottom. Chavayt Rami is if it's much higher. In this case, it's much higher. If this is more than one tefach, each beam, then it will come down and fill in the gaps, and that's what it will do. So it needs to be
Not the beam itself.
the beams on top. The schach, the piece of schach itself.
Thick.
It's not thick height, thick wide. Wide. Now, the difference is Chavayt Rami changes the height. It doesn't change the space. For instance, this, we imagine that this came down, but we don't imagine this full only if this comes down. By Lavud, we imagine the space that's empty suddenly full. Those are the primary differences between Lavud and Chavayt Rami. Now, Chavayt Rami we're going to go into next week. It's going to bring the case from Ihalas. Why? Because in Ihalas is where it's discussed, and then we take it from there. We say, oh, just like we learned it over here, we can apply it to Sukkah over here. Now, before we go inside, does anybody have any questions on these things? It's totally fine.
It made it a little more confusing.
So one more time. So start one more time. Okay.
What is it called?
Yeah.
The fact it can be 90% sun. That's
No, that for sure. No.
for sure out.
So
right? So when you have a case like this, at some point during the day,
in this case, according to Shmuel, Mibul Balas, you can have more sun as long as there's more schach staggered. Yes, that's a chiddush. Correct. And you said it's so confusing. You have a question?
I don't have a question. I'm just trying to.
So we'll do it again. There's two things, lavud and chavay rami. Both are halacha mishmi Sinai, which means this is the way it is. This is it, and this is the way it is, passed down. The simple thing is, lavud is, within 3 tvachim it works. Within 3 tvachim it jumps, it's as if the space is full. Yes, if within 3 tvachim, we imagine that the space is full, right here, like this. I wish I had a different picture, I thought I printed it. But basically, this, we imagine that this is a full wall. We imagine it's a full wall.
a cat can go through. This as well.
That yes, from the top, yes.
Correct.
Yes,
It's the same thing.
correct.
Okay.
Yes. So lavud means within 3 tfachim, it's as if it's one full wall. We imagine, we see it, Ryan, we see it as if there's a wall there, not missing. Chavat Rami is, it drops down. Now, again, next week we're going to see there's going to be cases to explain what does it mean drops down. So we're going to talk about different levels of, like a building that's 2-3 levels, and how where you put it matches to what it is.
The lover doesn't do
So
this. It only does this.
No, love it could also. Love it also. Love it goes both. Love it goes both ways. Has to be 3 tfachim. Chavat Rami works by Toma. Love it does not work by Toma. These are just the rules. It's a little bit complicated. These are the rules. There's a game, and the Baruch Hashem set the rules, and these are the rules. The question is, I just want to make sure that you understand. I just want to make sure that everyone understands the rules. So one more
To
time.
move all ways. The king can only go.
Regardless, if it's less than 3, you don't need to go on to somebody. Like, look,
Technically, yeah. Rava says it's fine. Rava says it's fine. He says we'll even say if it's more. Mordechai, you got it or not really? One more, yeah. Menachem.
Help us, Chazura 6 times. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do the chazur. I don't mind saying it again. Nachamol? What?
You're not touching the Chavat Rami?
We're not gonna go into it because it's just gonna throw much more. Next week, I don't.
Then we're good.
Correct. That's yeah.
We're sticking just.
Sticking to lover.
That's it. That's
Yeah, today, Monday.
See, I told you.
That's
I
it.
just don't want to get confused.
That's fine. Monday we're gonna get into Chavay Rami because we're gonna have to, and it's gonna go through the whole
I
thing.
just don't understand how we can learn a miles to sick it.
So because it's the concept. It's Allah HaMashusina concept. If it works here, it's not loises. It's because if this works here, this Allah HaMashusina, it should work here under the same guidelines. Imagine you're playing a game. It's the same guidelines. All right, Mati. You know. Nog eenmaal. Chavod Rami can be 50 to 50. It has to be one tefach on the top. Yeah. No, love it could, no, it has to be within 3 tefachim space. But it's 2 different things. You're saying 2 different. Chavod Rami needs to be within 3 tefachim space to connect. Chavod Rami can be 50 feet high. But the top piece just has to, love it is within 3. I'm sorry. Love it is within 3. Chavod Rami can be 50 feet high, but a tefach. All right, we're getting, what?
Minimum. You're saying it could be 50 feet what?
High.
Top to bottom.
As long as the width is.
The top, yeah.
Top and the bottom slab are each a tefach.
As long as the slab is tefach wide. This looks very fancy.
If you take out a few pieces. All right, guys. Okay. Yeah, let's do the chazar inside. Let's do the chazar inside. We're going to start from the beginning of the daf. We'll do the chazara. Just one more time chazara. And again, the pictures are on the chat. If you have questions, please call me. I have no problem explaining to each person, going through it as many times as you want. It's very simple. It's just a lot of information, so it sounds. Only in the top. I don't want to say next. I don't want to say. Technically, it can. But right now, no.
Sorry, Volvi.
Right now.
This is lower.
Love it doesn't matter. As long as you're within 3 tefachim of a gap.
Here, take this.
I don't know.
Love it.
Yeah. I don't mind. Okay, we're gonna do it now with tissues. What? Namastanya. We're good. Guys. One more time. Imagine just one beam. This is 3 tefachim. Now the lavud makes this. Us imagine like it's like this. Lavud makes, if it's within 3 tefachim, that this is like this. Also, if it's a wall, let's say there's a gap, this is sealed. Within 3 tefachim, lavud makes it look like it's this. If it's too much, doesn't look full, it's no good. Now, what's chavayd rami? If it's from here to here, as long as this top one is a tefach wide, chavayd will lower it, and rami will put it into the place, and it'll be good. That's basically it. It's from after 3 tefachim, if it qualifies, after 3 tefachim, if it qualifies, if it's a tefach wide, yeah.
So within 3 tefachim, it's loaded. After that,
Yes. Okay, let's start from the Mishnah, from the shkoch for the tissue boxes. I guess it actually worked better. The Mishnah. Let's go, guys. Aaron, guys. Well, from the Mishnah. Sukka midivleos, a sukkah that is a sukkah midivleos, like we just saw, it's 2 pshatim in it, either it's dal or it is confused, one up, one down. And that its shade is more than its sun. Kshera, it is kosher. Hamuva kimin bayis, if it is as thick, meaning the schach is so thick, it's like a house that you can't see through. Alpha pishena chav ner mitoicha. Kshera, it is kosher.
That picture has the schach.
Yes, and if you look at that first one that we passed around, that one is really going to be this Mishnah explaining it. Gemara, my miduvlas. What is miduvlas? Amar Rav says, Sukkah aniya, it is a poor sukkah. Shmuel Amar, kana oila v'kana yard. And Shmuel says, 1 beam up, 1 beam down. Rav tani chada, u'Shmuel tani tarti. Rav learned one thing out of this Mishnah, the first part, u'Shmuel tani tarti, and he learned 2 things out of it. Rav tani chada, sukkah miduvleles. Rav learned one thing out, a sukkah miduvleos. What is that? My miduvleos, miduldeles. Rav says we learn one thing, it's miduldeles, and shatzilasa muvu mechamasa kshera. Meaning, if you have a sukkah, like we have the first picture, where it looks like there's very little schach, if the shade is more than the sun, according to Rav, that's miduvleos, that is kosher. Simple. U'Shmuel tani tarti, and Shmuel learns 2 things out of this Mishnah. My miduvleos, mibulbeles, all mixed up. Vitarti katani, and he learned 2 things out. Sukkah mibulbeles kshera, he learns out that a sukkah that is all confused, staggered, up and down, like Aaron was saying earlier, that's the chiddush. Even if the sunlight is more than the dark, that will be good.
Really?
Yes, and as Rashi says, that is the chiddush.
Even if they're connected together now, once.
No, that's not. Yeah, it's because that's why it's good. It's connected. There's enough covering ground, even if sunlight.
Though the sun is coming in.
Correct. Wow. That is the chiddush. Now, his second thing he learns is vishatzilasam ruben mechamasa, and when the shade is more than the sun, kshera, it is kosher. So he learns 2 things. This should be pretty straightforward. In that first picture that we passed around, really should show these 2 concepts. Should be straightforward. Amar Abai says, he wants to clarify, saying, this, that Shmuel said it's good, lo shanu ella she'ein bein zeh lezeh shalosh tefachim. Again, this that Shmuel says, that the beams that are up and down are good, and that sunlight more than dark is good, is only when it's within 3 tefachim, so we can imagine it as 1 layer. Royan, we can imagine it as 1 layer, due to the principle of lavud. Fine. It doesn't say it here. Rashi explains Royan, and Royan is based off that principle. But if there's between those 2 beams, the lower level and the higher level, 3 tvachim, psula will be no good. Amar Rava, so Rava comes to add. Rava says, even if there would be 3 tvachim, that'll be good. And lo yamar, and we won't say ela she'ein begage tefach. So he's bringing the principle of chavad rami. He says it will also be good if it's more than 3 tefachim, so long as the top pieces have 1 tefach wide. Aval yesh begage tefach kshera. So now we're going to say, how do we know this? The Amrinon, Chavait Rami. We say Chavait Rami, and again, we're going to leave it over here. Chavait, just try to do the Chazara again. Look at the pictures that we put around, and if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And what's the... Well, I didn't want to go further today because it's just confusing. It's going to throw us all into a loop. So rather, let's leave it at here. And Monday we'll move further. And everyone have a wonderful Shabbos. Shkoyach.